Hello again, I'm still Ben, back to the hat to find our next topic. This one. I want this one, which is do it yourself. Do it yourself. Hey America, do it yourself. This is kind of part of the mythos of what America was based on, right? And what I mean by that is that we're supposed to be this DIY nation, where, we're all free to do as we want, and we, strike out and seek our fortune and blah, blah, blah propaganda. But in terms of doing things that we try to get the government to do instead, I do believe we need to rely on the government for less particular things. Like the big umbrella issues are what the government is about: healthcare, education, national security, things like that, things that affect everybody. That's where the government's purview really should be. But for everything else, do it yourself. If you're passionate about something, I think we need to limit the kind of money and influence that gets shoved into the government for special interests specifically. If you have a special interest and it's, something protecting an endangered species that's a particular wolf, if you've got an idea that you think every fire station needs to be designed a certain way, whatever you're passionate about, whatever your thing is that you think the government should do, why don't you try doing it yourself first? Why don't you try raising money for it? Why don't you try to see if there's enough backing? Because I'm going to say most of the time that people want to, push off that responsibility onto the government for very individual things that are not the government's business, And so if you can't find the support for that specifically, if you have a specific desire, the government specifically needs to do this one very specific thing, no, the government is a general democratically elected system. It needs to be shaped with universal laws, simple rules, things that everybody can interact with, because it's where we are all supposed to go to interact. We're all supposed to be these citizens that are interacting together. And I think too much of the government feels like it's these other people doing things and telling us the results, when it should be all of us on some level interacting and collectively bringing about these results. So, if you've got something that it's a burning desire for you, ask yourself if it's something you can do yourself, something that instead of trying to get the government to fund for you, you can go out and fund yourself. I absolutely believe in driving in the direction that you want to go in, and that's what you should do. It gets more complicated the more you get the government involved with it, because then whatever it is you're wanting and whatever it is you're trying to do has to be under all kinds of government regulations. It has to be under all kinds of universal purview. So we can absolutely bring back the idea of a do-it-yourself nation. But you have to want to do it yourself, I think, is the thing. My name's Ben Howison. Sursum Corda.